81 or 82, I can't remember, of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says...
You know, I'm always shooting myself with one of those poison-tipped crossbow darts. I don't know why they don't put a warning on those things.
Nice.
Well, little Caddyshack 2 there for us. So how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah.
You?
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything new and exciting?
No.
Uh-huh.
No. Pretty boring.
Nice.
Yeah. I did watch the bonus Sandman episode last night.
So you finished it. Last week you
Yeah, I
finished
had
it.
2 episodes left. I finished it, and I watched the bonus episode last night.
Okay.
I don't want to dwell on it too much because we given a lot of time to Sandman, but I thought the overall the 10 episode arc was very, very good. You know, I liked how it kind of like where it left off.
Yeah.
And how it's kind of set itself up for season 2. I really enjoyed the bonus episode.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't?
No, it's okay. You can talk about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's 2 short stories, which is like nice. But the first one in particular was very interesting because it's all about cats.
Yeah.
And like what's interesting is apparently people were like getting freaked out because the cats are watching. Like if you have a cat, the cat is watching this episode. You know, and it's animated. So it's not like, you know, like you're using real cats or anything, but still it's a very interesting episode. I rolled a tear. I won't deny it. At one point, I don't want to ruin it for you. Let you watch it, but I did roll a tear at one point.
Nice.
And like it was funny. Like I didn't think twice about it because I watched it and Sabine watched it with me, my older cat.
Yeah.
And but she watches TV.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she watches pro wrestling with me. Like, if I'm watching AEW on Wednesday, she usually has her spot on the end of the couch where she sits and she watches the action. You know,
right.
So it's not unusual for her to like be watching television. So when she was watching the episode, I didn't think twice of it.
Right.
But I looked on like Facebook and people were talking about like, yeah, my cat watched that episode. I'm a little nervous. Like, and. Like, I had to laugh because, like, you know, Lisa was talking about Hawthorne really paying attention. You know, she thinks she was probably one of the 1,000 cats who dreamt the dream. Right, Sabine, on the other hand, like, woke up I woke up today and Sabine was, like, nuzzling with me and purring, which she never does. So it was, like, the episode had the total opposite effect. It was more along the lines of her of, like, you know, no, I appreciate everything you've done for me. Thank you. You know. So, but, both stories that are told in that episode are very, very good.
Yeah.
But overall, like the base 10 episode run, I really enjoyed. I thought it was very well done.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Looking forward to season 2, whenever that may be.
Yeah. Who knows? I'm sure he'll. Hopefully sooner than later. Not sooner, but I mean I understand.
Right.
And stuff.
I mean, the good thing is, like, from the standpoint of, like, apparently they're pulling it straight from the comics.
Yeah.
With minor tweaks here and there.
Right.
But overall, it's coming from the comics, the storylines and everything.
Right.
So, like, the base stories are there. It's not like you have to sit down like, well, I need to come up with a whole new season. Well, you know, you're just doing volume 2 now.
Right.
You know? So that's nice that, like, it doesn't need as much work to get, like, the next 10 episodes up and running. However, like, I mean, the amount of special effects that go into this, I don't know how hard that is to do. Like, can we get another season by the end, by next year? This time next year?
Right.
Or is it going to be like The Witcher where we have to wait
Right.
like 2 years?
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of it. Like I said, looking forward to it. I would like to go back and visit the book.
Yeah.
It's just, of course, now, the prices are being driven up on like those like collections and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's because of the popularity of the show.
Sure.
So, I may have to wait a while, but I just like to read them at some point. That was like it.
I watched that new Jamie Foxx movie.
Did you? I was gonna watch it today and I didn't for some reason. I was just like, I'm not into it.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, what's his name? James Franco's little brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember his name.
He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite good.
Yeah. Dave Franco. That's his name. Because he's married to Alison Brie.
Yeah.
And that makes me extremely jealous.
Anyway, he was really good. So, yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah, it looked fun. Like, it looked like a fun movie. I wanted to watch. I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Yeah. And I watched that Woodstock special.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I need to watch it because I need to, kind of bookend it with... I watched the HBO one.
Okay.
Like, HBO did one, I think, last year.
Okay.
About Woodstock 99.
Uh-huh.
And I heard, it's kind of two different versions of the same story. So I like to see what the differences are.
Yeah.
But, the HBO one, I remember, being pissed off because there was, one guy who, defended it. There was nothing major happened.
Yeah, that was the end.
MTV blew it up, and, no.
No, that was the promoter.
Yeah, one of the promoters. Yeah, but everybody else is kind of it went to shit. But this one guy was just like, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Was it pretty in depth?
It was. It was HBO, and they were doing a series of documentaries, and this was the only one I watched, and I wanted to watch a few others. There was one about Alanis Morissette, and I can't remember what else there was, but there was they were doing 4 or 5 of them. They were all part of a collection. But the first one they did was on Woodstock 99, and it was an hour and a half, and it was very well done. I mean, I expect nothing less from HBO.
Right. This one was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was like, man, I should watch that, and I just wasn't in the mood. You know what I mean? Because I've heard other people talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta watch this. But yeah,
the only thing I'm going to say about it is this one part where this lady, and she went to the original Woodstock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the guy's land they used was, I think he was at the original Woodstock. But
the
lady was at the original Woodstock. And, and this, that, and the other. It was a complete collapse on the promoter's part. Everything about this thing was a collapse.
Yeah.
But there was trash everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're walking through a sea of trash.
Yeah.
And this lady's out there in her, little 4-wheeler handing out garbage bags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she was appalled by everything.
Right.
And because that's not what this was about. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or supposed to be about.
Right.
But at the end of it, she's like, and these kids were pissed. You know what I mean? It just... I could see why it turned to Lord of the Flies.
Right. No, I agree with you, but
I'm not agreeing with what they did.
Right.
But at the same point, you bought a ticket to a festival. It wasn't being run correctly.
Correct.
There's too much drugs involved. Not the drugs of the 60s.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? And you're promoting this drug use.
Yeah.
And then you don't you don't even have it's hot.
Yeah.
You don't even have water, and you don't even have the basic necessities for these kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And by the end of it, you're charging $12 a bottle for water.
Yeah.
And these kids are tapped out.
Yeah.
You've been price gouging. Even food.
Yeah.
Is being price gouged. So it was fucking insane.
Like, I think about it. Like, I remember when I talked about the original the documentary I watched. Like, the thing I think about is like I was of an age that I would have been there or could have been. I remember it. I remember talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, and like I think some of it was the rage of what was like. You're right. Like the $12 water and the overpricing of the food. Like all the stuff that was. It was on a military base. It was 9,000 degrees, and there was on asphalt. Like all of that creates a combustible situation. But also, I think like there was this. Like I remember feeling it, but not like this. Like I don't like this anger.
Yeah.
That like. I'm at that time. What am I? I'm 26. I'm not as successful as my father was.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. I didn't. Looking at towards the future, I didn't see. Like I didn't see like any change coming for me.
Yeah.
It was like we were the first generation to not do as well as our parents did.
Right.
And that was like one of those things that like there was people were like, oh, well, I mean, you talk about like white privilege and you're right to an extent. You're absolutely right. If this would have been like something with people of color, there would have been SWAT teams. They would have been firing rubber bullets into the crowd. Like, I get it. But because it was like white males, it was like, okay, we'll just surround them and let them work out their anger.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of horse shit that goes into this, and, like, but, like, in a way, like I hate justifying the anger, but I remember feeling it as well. I just never destroyed anything.
Right.
Like, this is how, like... Gen X is the first generation to be like, don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Like, and people like wonder like why like Gen X is kind of getting leapt over. Like millennials and Gen Y are leaping over Gen X, and they're fighting with the boomers. And like, why didn't we do that? Because like we were so like, fuck it.
Yeah.
The whole system's rigged, and we see it. Why can't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But. So it's that oddball. Like, there's a lot of things that are like I just think about like the climate I felt at the time, and again, I'm not justifying it anyway. I mean, like even like the amount of sexual assault that took place at that I mean, unconscionable. Like I can't even imagine.
Right.
And oh well, boys will be boys. Well, no. But there like the anger I kind of get to a certain extent, and like, what a better way to take it out on like what was supposed to be like this festival to bring us all together. Well, the reality is it split us apart more than anything because it was like we're gonna gouge you for every penny you got.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what they were doing.
I mean, you look back 5 years before that, and like Woodstock '95, that thing went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I saw, like, in the one I watched, like, Moby talked about it. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about, like, I showed up, and right away, I could tell. Like, I was at Woodstock 95, and that was great. I showed up for Woodstock 99, and I was looking around going, this is a powder keg ready to explode.
Yeah.
You could cut the tension with a knife.
Yeah.
So, I mean... He's like, we got in, we did our set, we got the fuck out.
Yeah. It's funny. They did an interview with Joel, too.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And they, like, right after they ushered her to the bus to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, like, I mean, that was not... And Jewel played Woodstock 95.
Right.
You know.
Korn was the same way.
Yeah.
They were like, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So.
Anyway, so it was a good documentary.
It's like the black eye of Generation X.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the black eye I have to carry as a card carrying member of Gen X is Woodstock 99. Because that was mine.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, that sucks. Like, you know, like,
Right.
That's my black eye.
Yeah, that was rough. But,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just crazy.
It was fucking nuts.
Plus, it was a different type of music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean...
It's that music, I'm not saying it lends itself to, but, you know, we're talking the era of Pits.
I mean, what, the last day was...
Chili Peppers.
Right, well, it was like... But wasn't it... It was like 3 in a row. It was like Limp Bizkit, Metallica, and then Peppers, right?
I don't remember the lineup, what they said. I know Peppers was last.
Yeah.
But I don't know what day Metallica played. And I think Bizkit didn't... I don't think they played the last day. I think they played on the second day.
Okay.
I'm not sure, though.
Yeah. Like, I just remember, like... I mean, you know... Famously, like, them playing Break Shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like... Towers coming down.
No. Well, the sea of people.
Yeah, like, they were ripping off, like, plywood off of, like, those towers. And like, riding it.
And for some reason, I don't remember Flea being naked the entire time. He was naked.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
No, but, like, totally naked the entire show. I don't remember. I guess MTV wouldn't show that.
No.
But actually, there wasn't many people left at that point when Peppers went on, as far as camera crews and stuff.
But I think also, like, that was, like, pay-per-view. I don't think it was, like, on MTV. I think that was pay-per-view. And, like, MTV was, like, showing highlights of it.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, at the end of it, like, it was, like, Kurt Loder, like, you know, okay, this is a fucking war zone. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
All of a sudden, they became fucking CNN.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I remember watching it on, like, MTV and being like, holy shit, what is going on?
Right. It's just nuts.
It was. It is. It's like the biggest black eye on Gen X is that fucking show. Those 3 fucking days of peace, love, and carnage.
Yeah. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the promoters just didn't have enough. There was hardly any security. There wasn't enough medical staff. They didn't have clean water.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
They were supposed to have shower setups and stuff like that for them. And it turns out that water was contaminated.
Yeah. It's like
before it became what it was, the water in the beginning was contaminated.
Yeah. It's like 2 steps above Firefest. Firefest is the one that, like, they were supposed to be on this tropical island and all these bands. Like, it was like it was supposed to be like Coachella of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I think this was worse than that.
No, the Firefest is the worst because they didn't even get the day off. Like, they literally, like, people showed up for night 1 and left the next morning. Bands never played.
Yeah.
Like, the tent set up and everything, like, it was like people were, like, they canceled it before anything happened. You know, but, like, they had to spend 1 night in this shitty island. Yeah. And then when they got, like, taken to the airport, there were no flights. They were all stuck in, like, this one little terminal. Like, hundreds of people stuck in this one little terminal, like, with no air conditioning. Like, you know, just, like, waiting for a plane.
Poor babies.
Yeah, I mean...
These were all rich kids.
Yeah, these were all rich kids and shit. Yeah, like, I have a hard time having sympathy for them. But, yeah, I mean, Firefest is, like, the biggest catastrophe of music festivals that's ever happened. But, you know, this comes a very, very close second. You know. Oh, I mean that from a planning standpoint. Like, you're right. Like, I mean, the security was like a bunch of people who were hired like 2 days beforehand and were like, yeah, I gotta go see Metallica.
Yeah.
I'm abandoning my post to see Metallica.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what happens.
Yeah. They were selling their shirts off their backs for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
ridiculous.
The whole thing was ridiculous.
It is.
And it's so funny because, like, you see... I do remember this, the mud pits they kept showing on MTV back then. Stuff like that. That wasn't mud.
I remember famously...
That was toilet water.
Yeah. There was a guy... Like, they were showing... They're like, these kids like, oh, every Woodstock has to have the mud people. And they show this one guy, and he's like, I hate to break it to him. That's not mud. That's shit.
Right.
Like they had to bleep the shit out. He's like, I hate to break it to him. Like, I was like, holy hell.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Just insanity.
He's like, Woodstock 1 and 2 had mud because it rained. It hasn't rained a drop yet.
That's shit.
Yeah, that's shit right there.
One girl left with, what'd she get? I can't remember the exact term, but she started getting sores all over her mouth.
Oh.
And it wasn't from the mud pits.
Okay.
It was just from the regular water.
Yeah, like people like trying to fill up water bottles. It's like the
regular water that was coming out.
Yeah, like from like the one water fountain that was there.
Yeah, like a water. Yeah. Yeah. Nuts.
It is.
I mean, people were getting sick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, those people should have sued the fuck out of that place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Especially the sexual assaults and stuff like that that went on, the rape.
Yeah.
Oh, disgusting.
It is. It's just vile.
At one point during the show, I'm sure they showed that on MTV, but they pulled up a fucking van or something in the middle of the indoor concert.
Uh-huh.
Because after the Woodstock was over, everybody went to rave in the big hangar.
Yeah.
Well, somebody drove a fucking van in the middle of a sea of people. Nobody got hurt there.
Yeah.
But when they got out, when security finally made their way over to the van, right?
Yeah.
The guy was like, he looked at the guy that was driving the van, and he was not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was checked out.
Yeah.
And then when they opened the door, there's a girl in the back young girl in the back with her panties around her knees.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, shit like that was going on. I was like, God, that's awful.
Horrible.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. I'm kind of shocked by the drug promotion, too, of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, back then, it was still shocking.
Like, I mean, I look at it this way. Like, you look at 69, and it was like, weed and acid. Now, you and I have both discussed it. We're both pro cannabis.
Yeah.
So the weed, but like, acid's always like,
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. It's the 60s. I get it.
Yeah.
Don't do the brown acid. It'll fuck with you. But like, I can like in the by 99. I mean, it was like all like, pills and shit.
Yeah.
Like I almost thought like, well, it must be coke. Oh no.
Right. I don't know. People were getting fucked up.
Yeah, just because it's a reflection of our generation.
Oh yeah. For sure.
I mean, you look at the original Woodstock, and it was a fucking disaster, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't make any money. They just broke down the gates, and like hundreds of thousands of people just walked in.
Yeah.
Like, but the difference is, like,
they're all hippies.
Yeah. They weren't raping each other. They weren't. They were there for music and to get high.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like Woodstock 99 feels like, we were there to fuck shit up. We just have excuses because it was also so fucking poorly run.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it gave him an excuse.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I still believe
yeah.
if you didn't have conditions that were at the level or below a third world country,
yeah,
and you paid this money for this show,
right?
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Your expectations should be X, Y, and Z, and they never met those expectations.
Right.
Just as far as cleanliness.
Right.
Period.
Right.
On top of, like, water.
Yeah.
You should have fresh drinking water.
Right.
I mean, how they even got away with that. Like health inspections of New York, you just can't, like, any place you serve food, you have to be able to wash your hands.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
and if you have infected water, then the health, whoever ran the public health of New York at the time could have shut them down as soon as they got a water sample.
Right. I the lesson learned was because that ticket was relatively, it was expensive, but it wasn't like uber expensive.
No.
The average person could go to Woodstock 99.
Sure.
The lesson they learned was, well, if we want to do this right, we've got to make it so expensive that only the wealthy can go.
Yeah.
And so that we can afford to get the clean water, and that's what Coachella is.
Yeah.
It's basically a Woodstock festival, but for the uber wealthy. The average person can't get to Coachella.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It is.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of bands.
Yeah, you got to be a part of the musical weekend at PNC Park.
Yeah, and I chose wisely. Because I know people that went to the other shows.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't mind seeing Poison. Bret Michaels can still sing.
Yeah.
And CeCe can still play.
Yeah.
So it's not like Crew, I heard, was terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
let's set the stage because it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at PNC Park. Friday night was Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Now, Billy Joel's still Billy Joel.
Well, yeah,
I would have loved to have seen Billy Joel.
Yeah.
But I wasn't spending that kind of money to see Billy Joel.
Right.
Saturday night was the 80s extravaganza of Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and I thought it was Joan Jett.
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett, yeah. And wow.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I heard Crew was awful. I heard Poison was still very, very good. Def Leppard, they need to give it up as well. Like that, the lead singer just can't do it. Joe Elliott, yeah, he just doesn't have it anymore. And Joan Jett's still Joan Jett.
Yeah.
But I just heard that was a bad show.
Yeah.
But then you went to...
And that was very expensive.
Yeah, that was very expensive, yeah. And then you went to go see Metallica on Sunday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still got it.
Yeah.
He gets the crowd to sing a little bit more now.
Yeah.
And, but he always did. Even when you listen to live stuff from...
Yeah.
He always got the crowd into it. Not early, but Injustice and stuff like that. But it started off with Ice Nine Kills, and they crushed it.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by that band.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much so that I've been listening to them on the way to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of screamo and regular singing mixed. Their songs are based off horror movies.
Yeah.
Stage show was incredible. It was like Cooperish.
Yeah.
Stage show. Props and shit like that. Loved it. Like their first song was about American Psycho.
Yeah.
And they wore this the entire time, but they came out with the suspenders, the suit, the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good. At one point he put on
the trench coat.
the
rubber
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raincoat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just got all bloody.
Yeah.
Fucking he decapitated somebody at some point. They
Yeah.
did a shower psycho scene. At one point, I was like, they did an It thing. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And they're singing well. I mean, I was so impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to see them. You know, live. And then Greta came on.
Greta Van Fleet.
Yes.
Okay.
Oy.
Not good.
Nah. Nope. I don't care what anybody says. Like they're the next Robert Plant. Or
Yeah, I've heard them people like compare them to Led Zeppelin. I've never listened to them.
Love them.
Yeah, I've never listened to them.
It just felt like after a while, it just felt like I listened to a 20-minute. They played longer than that, but it just felt like it was just an endless guitar solo, like that just kept going.
Yeah,
and nothing was different with the axe.
Yeah,
like it was just kind of like, what? Is this ever gonna end?
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I was so sick of hearing his voice because he just it was like almost like a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Like he just kept doing the same thing. He wasn't like. And it got on my nerves.
Yeah.
Even my kid, Anna, was like, we looked at each other. I was like, is this ever going to end?
Yeah.
So, anyway, but Metallica took the stage, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was just a fantastic show. The seats... So they bought seats for the show. I didn't buy these seats. This was a birthday gift.
Yeah, it was a birthday gift. Yeah.
Right. And you know, they just went on and bought seats. They weren't paying attention to anything.
Right.
They said we were in 310, and I was like, oh god. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Initially, because like that's way up there. And
it's upper deck.
Upper deck, upper deck. I'm like, okay, tickets were still outrageous. Too outrageous? Yeah, probably, but you get your money's worth when you go to a Metallica show anyway.
Right.
So I felt like you get your money's worth. They make sure their fans get their money's worth.
Right.
It isn't some like fucking band getting ready to step off the dock into the abyss. I mean, they put on a show.
Right.
And it's going to be good every time you go.
Right.
Usually.
Right.
And so I go to the, lady.
Yeah.
The usher. There was still a guy there. Speaking of ushers, there was still an old guy in the section below us.
Yeah.
He still fucking took the towel out.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Down.
That's the best.
Escorted you to the seat.
Yeah.
Wiped your seats off for you.
God bless that
They
man.
were tipping him.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. When you get that kind of service, you get...
it was probably, I don't know, 65.
Yeah.
And
handling his business. So.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. So our usher, I was like, okay, where are we at?
Yeah.
We're like 311. And she's like, oh, let me take you to your seats. You've been to the stadium.
Yeah.
Have you been that high?
A few times, yeah.
So when you walk through,
Yeah.
when you walk on through, there's places to go up.
Yeah, like you come out the concourse, you come in from the concourse.
Correct.
Like you come in through a tunnel, and then like the stairways to the sections are to the left and to the right. So you're going up. You're not going down. You're going up.
Right. And I said, well, which section am I in? I was like, oh, you're not up there. You're right here. And so we had 2 seats right at the rail.
Nice.
In the handicap section.
Nice.
But no one had bought the seats.
Right.
Anyway, I mean, they just picked seats.
Yeah.
Best fucking seats I've ever had a show in my entire life. For sitting that high up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and...
yeah, it's not the picture, like, I think on a talk of, like, you two. I'm like, oh, he's up against the rail. That's nice.
Yeah, because of leg room.
Yeah.
Right, for me.
Exactly. That's the first thing I thought of was, oh, man, he's going to be comfortable.
Yeah. Let me tell you. I was real comfortable.
I'll bet.
I was the most comfortable of any show I've ever been to in my entire life. I can't think of anything more comfortable aside from when we saw Rush.
Yeah.
Anyway, more comfortable because these seats were padded. These were nice seats.
Yeah.
I was like, this is all right. That's what I'm talking about. You know?
Yeah.
Bathrooms right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
You got treated like royalty.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. But put on a fantastic show. Ended with puppets. And when you saw Eddie.
Yeah.
They did a little Eddie thing.
Yeah. Stranger Things.
From Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
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 That's what I meant, not Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Right, I just wanted to clarify that for anybody out there who's like, Eddie? Who the fuck's Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, something really cool he did. He stopped in the middle of Fade to Black. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, this song's about, it's a pretty dark song. This song's about, you know, the ending, you know, and suicide's a real thing. Like, he got a little 45-second post there.
Yeah.
He's like, just remember, there's always people out there that love you. Metallica loves you. Talk to somebody. And then when he came back in, it was right on the guitar solo.
Yeah.
To Fade to Black.
Yeah.
He stopped right before the guitar solo, did
right.
his little speech, and then Hammond just took over after.
Yeah.
It was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're still killer musicians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One was incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like, I've always liked One, but that's what really brought them fame on the like video circuit.
Yeah, that's what kind of like that was like their breakthrough to the pop culture consciousness, mainstream. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you know, you kind of got tired of hearing one.
Yeah.
And it was overplayed, I admit.
Yeah.
Not the extended version, but it was kind of overplayed. But when they did it here, like, I mean, the whole stage was dark.
Yeah.
And the whole stage was dark, and like, you know, you heard it start up. Not da-na-na-na, not you didn't hear that.
Yeah.
You just heard fighting and war, you know, stuff like that. And then the big screen on top, there was just like marching soldiers, like silhouettes, you know. These huge. They had 4 huge, you know, screens. And I'm like, that's cool. And then all of a sudden you start hearing bombs drop. And I'm telling you, if anybody was there that had PTSD from the war, they probably should have not go to that show. Yeah. But, you know, a bomb would hit and then have a big ass bright strobe at the bottom. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Representing, you know? Yeah. And then you hear like artillery fire, like shh, and then they had fireworks coming out of the top, sequenced with the gunfire. Right. It was unbelievable. And then the lasers came out. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, but it was awesome. Yeah. And just hearing the double bass was just from those period. So yeah, they played a lot of stuff. Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death. They played Battery, which I was shocked. Yeah. And it was quick. They played a song of Saint Anger, Moth to the Flame. Yeah, a lot of songs. I mean, there was a whole shit ton of songs. I wish I should have pulled up the set list, but yeah, they only played like one song off the new album, one song off Saint Anger, and something else. It was funny. He was like, you know, everybody gives this album shit. That's what he said. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, I like it. I like this song. And then they just went into it. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it was cool. At the end, they came out. Each one of them said something to the crowd. Yeah. Which you don't see all the time at shows anymore. Yeah. And they just actually, each one of them had like a 30-second thing where, well, somewhere, maybe 15 seconds where they're like, thank you, Pittsburgh. You guys rock, you know, this and the other. And the only F-bomb I heard was actually from Kirk Hammett's voice. That day, I swear to God. He was like, you fucking rock, Pittsburgh. Yeah. And, but it was cool. They thanked the crowd. Then the lights kind of went up, you know? And then he just came back out. Lars had like fucking 25 drumsticks. Yeah. And like all these picks. They were just thanking the pit, Snake Pit, and then other fans they could reach. Yeah, it was like, wasn't like, you know, we're done and we walk off. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're appreciative of the people. And,
right.
So yeah, it was cool. It was a great show. It was a great outdoor show. Sound was great. Fireworks, lasers. I mean, seriously, I couldn't ask for anything better. Great seats.
Yeah.
You know, it was good, dude. I was fucking, and it was a clean. Surprisingly, there were kids there too, but surprisingly a clean show. I mean, I've been to Metallica shows where everything out of his mouth is F.
Yeah.
Like fuck off, you know.
Yeah, he's old.
I know that, but it was at the same point. It's like it was relatively clean show.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Which, not that I would have cared either way.
Right.
But it was clean enough to where I'd noticed.
Yeah.
Like
based on other shows you've been to with Metallica.
Sure.
Right.
You know, and yeah, it was killer. Just killer.
And let me ask you.
Metallica to the Pittsburgh skyline. I was like, fuck yeah.
And let me ask you the dumb question that I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you hope this is the last run?
No. I would see them again.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not there. I mean, they're not Kill 'Em All Metallica.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They're not Master of Puppets Metallica.
Right.
But they still put on a goddamn great show, and you only catch a couple hints of singing problems.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And you'll hear them lower on some parts.
Right.
But the man sang Battery, for Christ's sake, and that is a fucking fast song.
Right.
I think it's maybe the second fastest. I'm not sure. I think Blacken's their fastest song. But it doesn't matter. I mean, he sang it.
Right.
But the other stuff sounded good. Oh, they played Whiskey in the Jar, too. Yeah, it was great. I mean, listening to him live was 50 times better than Vince Neil.
Right. No, I get
They're
that.
not there. I mean, like,
Right.
and I know that's my favorite band. And I'm like, oh, you're just saying that because, you know, you're biased. I'm like, he's not there yet.
Right.
I think when he does get there, he'll call it quits.
Right.
And he's just not there. I mean, he just still sounds
Right.
fucking great. Oh my God, this one part during Bells, you know, from whom the bell tolls. So when you listen to it on tape, see, whatever.
Yeah.
I still refer to everything
Whatever
as tape.
medium it is you use to listen to it.
There's a part in Bells where you go, "It's the last time you will." Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Well, it shows on live albums. They always extend that. It's the last time you will. Boom.
Yeah.
They always extend that out by like 6-7 seconds.
Right.
So it's like this moment of silence.
Right.
And like he did that, and my fucking fist was in the air. I mean, like I sang every fucking song that came on. And when that part came during Bells, I mean, my fist was already in the air, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, you know, singing it, you know. And then when it came back in, these fucking 4 gigantic flames went up.
Yeah.
On either side of all over this. I was like,
Yeah.
it was like a moment. I was like, I am here.
Yeah.
I was meant to be here at this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so fucking badass. Yeah, they're not done. I mean, they're just they're not there yet.
Yeah. I get what you're
saying.
saying.
And I know.
Right.
I mean, if I went to a show where like his voice was that terrible, do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'd be like, oh, this is bad. And I'd tell you it's bad.
Right. No, I'm not saying it's like a thing of like, and it's a weird thing to say because I mean, you know, these guys are late 50s now. Excuse me. And it's just that thing of like, I want them to go out on top. I don't want to see that farewell tour where they're struggling.
Yeah, they're not struggling.
I understand they're not struggling now, but I'm saying maybe the next time around they are.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you.
Yeah, like you want to see them I think of it this way. It's the odd comparison, but like, you know, anytime Robert Plant performs live, and I understand Robert Plant just turned 74, so it's, a little bit of a different story.
Yeah.
But still, like, I don't ever want to hear Robert Plant sing a Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
Ever again. Because when Robert Plant sings it, he does not sound like Robert Plant.
Yeah.
At all. You know, and like the only guy I've ever seen who can defy Father Time with his voice is Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Like, Mick Jagger today still sounds like Mick Jagger I saw in 1995.
Yeah.
When I thought in 95, man, these guys have got to be wrapping it up.
Yeah.
This has got to be maybe the last tour.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I saw him in 95, because I was like, one, I can afford the tickets, and two, it was like, man, this may be the last run for the Stones. They're getting old.
Yeah.
You know, little did I know, damn near 30 years later, they'd still be going strong. But,
I mean, out of all the bands that I've listened to and that I've seen live, I do think that Metallica just still holds up.
Right.
And, like, they just haven't lost it.
Right.
As far as, like, I mean, you look at Poison. Poison still holds up pretty well, too.
Right.
But, I mean, you look at these other bands, even Crew. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I look at Motley Crue and the people I heard talk about, like, I mean, there were some people like, oh, yeah, we're still fucking Crew. I'm like, well, how much did you have to drink?
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is, like, what was cool, it was like, number one, it was a cool crowd.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And nobody was, like super huge, sloppy drunk that I noticed.
Right.
You know, nobody was, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that Crew show, that started like 4 in the afternoon. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, it's that thing of, especially with a hard, heavy metal band, that is hard on your voice. Like, I respect Hetfield for being able to still be James Hetfield vocally at this age, because that's hard on your voice.
Right.
You know, like, you know, Billy Joel's still Billy Joel, but, like, you know, how hard is it to sing a Billy Joel song?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say, like, Elton John.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason Elton John's retiring is because he's like, oh, fuck, I'm just too old for this shit.
Yeah.
He still sounds like Elton John.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, rock, like, hard heavy metal, hard rock, that's got to be a strain on the vocal cords, and especially, like, with Hetfield, with, like, how gravelly he gets.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, you know, when he goes low, it becomes like a you know. So I respect that, but at the same time, like, you know, I'd hate to see him fall off that cliff.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Right.
I mean, well, we know it's definitely not gonna happen musically. It's just all about the voice at this point.
Right.
I just don't see that happening. I was reading an article, too, where, you know, because you just fucking go down wormholes. At least I do after concerts.
Yeah.
You know, just, not that I didn't know any of this before, but I did not know this, that they're on a lot of lists as some of the greatest guitarists of all time. Kirk Hammett is, for sure.
Yeah.
But even Hetfield's on there for rhythm. I mean, he plays more lead than people realize.
Right.
Like, he plays lead on Puppets. There's a number of songs he plays lead on.
Right.
But, yeah, I was surprised that Hammett was that high. I mean, he's pretty high on guitars.
Right. I mean, I certainly wouldn't have it in a top 10, anywhere near a top 10, but I can see where he could, you know, he'd be a top 50 guy.
Yeah, he's more than that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I don't know where he would rank him.
Yeah, we're not going to get on that
yeah.
wormhole because I can look it all up, but I'm not going to do that. But I was impressed by that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they've, through all in all, I mean, like, through all the fucking, you know, rehab shit that James has gone into, well, all of them, I think, except Lars. But, you know, losing Newstead, losing Burton, of course, to death.
Right.
And all that fucking, all the drugs and alcohol they did back, you know, when they starting coming up. They came out the other side of that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bands did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was good seeing them. Like, I felt like Felt like I was seeing an old friend, if that makes any sense at all.
It does, yeah, because you've seen them. What, this was your 5th or 6th time seeing them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like seeing an old friend again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's. I can safely say that it's the only band that I can sit through an entire concert and sing every single song.
Yeah.
I can do that with Chains too, but it's different now.
Right.
But or I could sit there and just, I don't know. It's my favorite band, so I loved it.
Right.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. Probably because of the seats. Well, not just because of the seats. I'm just saying that
right.
they helped. Because it was like so comfortable and just chill, and there wasn't a shit ton of people around me.
Right.
There wasn't. I mean, maybe that's why I didn't see all the drunks, because I wasn't in the stands. So
right.
I didn't have to worry about this X, Y, and Z. I could just sit there and fucking chill and watch a show.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But it was a great show. Crushing show. So anyway, yeah. So
yeah.
I've been pretty lucky. I saw, Metallica, this past week, and a couple weeks ago I saw Rage.
Yeah.
Which was fucking incredible. But, yeah, good concert season for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it was fucking great. And we actually parked at First Avenue.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
parked at First Avenue Garage for $5. Took the T in. That was completely free once you're in downtown.
Yeah.
Took you to the park, got on the T, came back.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's better than parking down there.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
unless you're tailgating.
Well, it's that odd thing now, too, of, like, there's almost nowhere to park down there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, when those two stadiums were built, there was nothing but parking lots between them.
Yeah, everywhere.
And now, all those parking lots are gone.
Yeah.
There's, like, very few parking lots down there now. And I don't know, like, if you were to, like, I don't know where I would park.
Right.
To go to a game. Either a Steeler game or a Pirate game.
Yeah. That's why I just like riding the T.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just let that fucker take me. I'm
yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah, so it's that weird thing of like, it's changed so much, that North Shore has changed so much with the development and everything, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but still it's like...
Where do you put thousands and thousands of people?
Yeah.
And they're still developing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, 70,000 people going to AccuShore Stadium. And where do I put those 70,000 people? Like where do they park at? Well, I mean, they want you to take the T. That's really what they want you to do.
Yeah, but it's just on where to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drive into Pittsburgh. Like, you park right by the jail.
Yeah.
That's First. You know what I mean? You park right on that First Avenue garage.
Yeah.
And literally the T is connected to the garage. So you go up 3 floors and you just walk out to the T. It's right there. And everything. The nice thing about the T, too, is everything from First to the stadiums, I think, are free.
Yeah.
So all those stops between inside of Pittsburgh, that's all free transit.
Yeah.
That's when you go outside of that. That's when you have to start paying T fees. But, even if you live in wherever the T goes.
Yeah.
I mean, T, this is the subway in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's the Pittsburgh subway, for those who don't know.
if you can get the T in, say, I don't know, Baldwin, Whitehall, that area, or down, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere over there, near Mount Lebanon, wherever,
Yeah.
But event parking is only $5, and then you pay $5 to ride the T.
Yeah.
So you're actually saving money by taking the T than you would be going down there to park.
Yeah.
Because it would cost you, I mean, anywhere from $25 or more to park in lots.
Yeah.
And then you got to fight all that fucking traffic getting out of there.
Right. The only thing I don't know is, if somebody knows, I mean, like, what I used to do is I used to park at Station Square and take the boat over.
Yeah.
For most things.
Right.
Like, for a while, initially, like, I would park over by the old Clark Bar and Grill.
Even that's cheaper, taking the boat over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, initially, like, when those stadiums first went up, like, you remember, I'd park over by the Clark Bar.
Yeah.
You know, like, under that overpass.
Right, it's still there.
Yeah. But, like, I'd park there, and I would walk over to the stadium. Well, I'd even do it for Pirate games,
Well, here's something interesting about that, too. Right? That lot, with all the stuff, and I think we saw it on top when we got off the tee. But that lot had, like, buses in it.
Yeah.
Like tour buses. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, and so they kind of took over that lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sucks, because that's where we used to park for all the games.
Yeah. But then, like, when it became, like, it became, you had to have a pass. You had to buy a pass for those. Well, that's how I started taking the boat.
Yeah.
Because it was easier to park over at Station Square and take the boat over. In all honesty, I wasn't fighting that much traffic going in or coming out.
Yeah, me neither. It was kind of nice.
Yeah. Like, by the time you got off the boat, walked to your car, most of the first wave of traffic was already gone.
Right.
And so it was pretty easy to get out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never had that much problem. Now, I did have, when I went to Rage, we got in some bad traffic there, which I was shocked. Because usually you can leave console.
Yeah.
And you're right on your way.
Yeah.
I mean, from the top lot and the bottom lots, there's so many ways out.
Yeah.
That it's usually not a problem. Oh. Not this time.
Yeah.
Because there's so much fucking construction on Forbes and 5th.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Fucked up everything.
Oh my God. Like, not just like fucked it up, but badness.
Yeah, fucked it up royally.
Yeah, I mean, like, you were in traffic forever.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was, literally, we had to turn out of our parking place.
Yeah.
And make a left. And that would take us straight into Oakland.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or straight to the berm.
Yeah.
Birmingham Bridge.
Yeah.
Right before you get to Oakland. And it took us like 30 minutes just to get from Consol to that point. Because it was just so bad. That the construction is just so bad there.
Right.
I'm just like, fuck. Because I can remember leaving.
And that weirdly, the tee doesn't go to the arena.
Nope.
So there's nowhere for you to, like, take the tee to the arena.
Nope.
Because it's like the way the tee runs, it goes only through a certain part of town.
Yep.
Like, it goes through the point, essentially, and the arena is, like, back away from the point.
Oh, yeah, way far away.
Way far. So, like, there is no, like, and, like, the rest of, like, as much as Ian is praising the tee, like,
oh, yeah, it has its problems.
Public transportation in Allegheny County is a joke. And I say that having friends and relatives working for Port Authority.
Yeah, no.
Or whatever the fuck it's called now.
I agree with you.
You know.
Because they never developed the T. In all essence.
Yeah.
And also, if it makes any sense at all, the T would run all over Pittsburgh and the outlying areas.
Yeah.
It would go to McKeesport. It would go here. It would go over here. It would take you everywhere that you needed to go.
Right.
But it doesn't.
No.
It takes you, like, through Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Down to the point. Takes you over to the games.
Yeah.
And it takes you to the more wealthier side of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, it's taking you to Baldwin Whitehall. It's taking you to
Mount Lebo.
Mount Lebo, yeah. It's not coming anywhere. Yeah, Bethel Park.
Yeah.
It's not coming anywhere near Glassport, White Oak, McKeesport, Homestead.
All you have to do is run the railroads.
Yeah.
That's what these tees do.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so public transportation overall in this town, in Allegheny County, is a ridiculous joke.
It's just a moneymaker.
I mean,
it's terrible.
It's terrible, and like it's so limited.
Even the buses. I mean, the buses are good, but at the same point, you know, they fucking they go, well, you either give us $8 million or we're going to shut down some stops here.
Yeah.
We just can't do this. They like hold the city hostage.
Right.
And it makes me sick. It does.
It does. Well, yeah, because like the places that they're talking about that they eliminate the stops from are places where like the elderly are relying on public transportation to get them like doctor visits and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
it's horrible. It is.
It is. It's all. Oh, I mean, it's a joke, but so
like when they cut all the Port Authority stops in Port View.
Yeah, just completely wiped out that run.
The whole Port View. Oh, if you want to catch the bus, you have to get it at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
Who in their fucking right mind is going to want to walk that hill?
Yeah.
Especially elderly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So I mean, like it is. It's a ridiculous joke, but So it like when you talk about like the traffic at Console, like there is no option for public transportation. Like like
and they're doing construction down there.
Yeah. So I mean, like there is no T option. You have to park somewhere near. You have to drive there. You have to park near there. Parking is extraordinarily limited around there because it's in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
So it's like this odd thing.
They should have just put the stadium down with the others.
Yeah.
They should have put the energy center right with the other two.
I mean, they kept it where they wanted it to be where the arena was. For whatever reason, I don't know, tradition.
I guess.
Like I used to hate.
They should have just put all three together.
Right. I used to hate going back when they had concerts. I used to hate going to the Palumbo Center for a concert.
Yeah.
And that only held like a couple thousand people.
Yeah.
But still, it was like a clusterfuck to get out of there. And that was, that's right below where the Civic Arena used to be, where Console Energy Center is now. Because it was like one parking garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and don't even get me started on trying to go to a fucking pit basketball game. Or anything at the fucking Pete.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. I don't know where they... I don't understand where people park, period.
I used to park...
Because you can't even park in the garage anymore. The Presby garage. Right,
no, you can't. I used to park, when I went to pit basketball games, I used to park under Soldiers and Sailor Hall.
Holy fuck.
And then they had buses that took you up the hill.
Okay.
And they had buses that would take you down the hill. Now, I would take the bus up the hill, but I would walk down the hill after the game.
Yeah.
Because it was like a nice walk, and
nice walk.
By the time I got down to my garage and got to where my car was, it cleared out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I mean, like parking in Oakland is fucking forget it.
Right, and I mean, you're talking with the Pete. I think it holds 13,000 people, 15,000 people maybe. I know it's less than Console, but high enough that it's like it's a Division I basketball arena. So it's like 13 to 15,000, something like that. And like I used to be able to park at the garage right there next to the psych ward.
Okay, they tore that down.
Yeah, but I used to park there and I'd walk up to the top of the parking garage because it leads right to the Pete.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, and that became pass only.
Yeah.
That's why I started parking down at Soldiers and Sailors Hall.
They got that whole thing messed up now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Panther's gone.
Yeah.
Where the Panther was, that whole section it's under construction. I don't know what it's like piping and stuff like that they're trying to fix, but like that area where the Panther is, that's all demolished. It's all dirt. It's all a dirt hill right now. It's been like that for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they're doing, but I can't even imagine what they did with that Panther. That thing must have been heavy as fuck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Can you imagine? I mean, it's got to be like 3 tons.
Yeah.
How do you move something like that?
One of my all-time favorite pictures, I went to a pit basketball game, and when I came out, it snowed.
No, it's pretty up there when it snows.
Yeah, and like that Panther statue was like covered in snow.
Yeah.
So I had like a picture taken in front of it, like all covered in snow and stuff. It was like really cool looking. And it was like one of those games where like I played, South Florida, so there was nobody there.
Yeah.
So it was like there were some footprints around it, but it's still like the snow still kind of looked a little bit pristine around it and stuff, and it's kind of a cool picture.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so enough of the local hijinks. Something interesting and something I'm noticing in Hollywood, and I thought it'd make an interesting conversation. So Jamie Foxx, he directed a movie called All-Star Weekend.
Okay.
The studio has said they are not releasing the movie.
Really?
Yes. Now this, I mean, and it's got Jamie Foxx is in it.
Okay.
Jeremy Piven, Benicio del Toro, Gerard Butler, Eva Longoria, and Robert Downey Jr.
Wow.
This is an all-star cast.
Okay.
Big time cast.
Yeah.
But yet, they're not releasing the movie. And the reason is, apparently, Robert Downey Jr. is playing a Mexican man.
Okay.
And Jamie Foxx is playing multiple roles, including allegedly a racist white police officer.
Wow.
Yeah. But the studio has said, no, we're not releasing it. And because you can't have this. You can't have Robert Downey Jr. playing a Mexican man. You can't play a white racist cop. Like, you know, I guess they saw the final cut and they're like, nope, can't do it. And I've seen other backlash, like James Franco, who's been tagged to play Fidel Castro.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently some of the Latino community were upset about that. Because James Franco is not a Latino.
Right.
You're seeing people now, like Tom Hanks is saying, if I was asked to do it now, I wouldn't play the character I played in Philadelphia because I'm not a gay man. You know, like there's a lot of like people apologizing for roles that they've played in the past because they weren't that person.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and I get it, like, if you're a gay person, like, I don't feel like, I guess that's how I feel. Like, I don't feel like a gay person has to play a gay person in a role.
Okay.
Okay? Like, if you're somebody who's a homosexual, you don't have, like, how many times have, like, has Neil Patrick Harris played a straight guy in a role?
Yeah.
On the outside, in the real world, I know he's a gay man.
Yeah.
However, he was really good as Barney in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's this weird thing of like, why are we projecting and saying, well, you have to be this to play this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to call out Robert Downey Jr. for being in blackface in Tropical Thunder?
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you watch the movie, you understand why, like, it makes sense. It wasn't something he was doing as a, like, he wasn't being racist,
Right.
but the way, the character he was portraying, and this is the lengths that he would go to land a role.
Yeah,
Like, this is the ultimate challenge to the actor in the movie.
yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like this thing of like, I understand sensitivities, and I think there are times where, yes, if I'm telling the story of a Latino experience, like, you know, like quite possibly that should be an all Latino cast, and, you know, however that works. But there are other exceptions where, like, you know, here's a comedy, like a road trip comedy that Jamie Foxx is doing. He's hiring Robert Downey Jr. to do this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't understand like why we have to pigeonhole people to specific roles now.
I hear what you're saying, but I think that I think people that are homosexual or Latino roles,
Right.
I don't know. Don't you think they can identify with the characters more? Don't you think it comes across as more believable than seeing?
But that's not acting.
Well, to
Like,
identify with a character,
Acting.
to come across.
I mean, acting is making you believe something.
Right.
That's what quality acting is.
Right.
I should be able to watch you in a role and believe that you are that character.
Yeah, but a lot of these actors have been overlooked for years because of the color of their skin.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it should be happening all the time, but sometimes, shouldn't you be just hiring the best actor for the role?
I don't know if I would go see a movie about Fidel Castro being played by a white man. Personally.
But okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Here's another prime example.
I would not go see a movie where a white guy was playing a Native American. It's just not believable to me.
But Johnny Depp did it.
And
I mean, it wasn't good, but he did it.
I didn't see the movie.
Okay, I did.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, do you understand? That's how I feel.
Right. Okay, so let me phrase it another way. Gal Gadot was cast as Cleopatra.
Okay.
That got shit canned because
she's not Egyptian.
No, she's Israeli.
Right. Oh. Wow.
I mean,
I get it.
But like,
it's the world we live in now, Sean.
It's stupid.
No.
It is.
I don't think it's stupid. I just find the times are changing.
I understand
you're
times
going to
changing.
cast somebody in a role for, say you're doing an LGBTQ film, and you're going to cast somebody in there that's not part of that community. How? I don't know. It's a touchy subject.
It is a touchy subject because we've made it a touchy subject.
Well,
we've let it become a touchy subject.
Right. But the way the world is now, everything's a touchy subject.
Right, and that's stupid. But, like, I'm not trying to trample on people, but it's like if you're casting a movie and that's the route you want to take, that's fine. I don't care. But at the same time, like, I don't see how I can sit there and say, like, well, that guy, he's a gay man. I don't want him to be Superman. That's what happened to Matt Bomer.
Right.
Matt Bomer was going to play Superman until the studio found out he was gay.
Yeah.
Like, well, we can't have that.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, so, like, I'm looking at it from both directions, is I guess the problem. Like, I'm looking at it as, like, I don't mind if you're a homosexual, if you're part of the LGBTQ community, and you want to play a straight person, I got no problem with that.
Okay.
None. But as long as you make me believe that you're the character.
Right. Nah, I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. Because I'm, like I said, I mean, there are plenty of actors who, like, you find out later on. Like, I had no idea Lee Pace was gay.
Okay.
Found out this week he's married to another guy. Great, good for him. I love him as an actor.
Yeah.
I love the roles that he plays.
Right.
You know, I don't look at him and go, "Oh, wow."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he makes me believe he's the character. He's Ronan. You know, I mean,
right. He doesn't sway your decision either way about a movie just because of his lifestyle, or what he believes.
Right. Like, even politically, like, I'm not going to look at you and say, "Oh, well," I mean, Tom Cruise, prime example. That guy's a fucking wackadoo. He's a fucking wackadoo in real life.
Right.
I love his movies.
Right.
I will watch a Tom Cruise movie at the drop of a hat.
Right.
You know what I mean? His stance on anything does not sway my decision. Now, I mean, the only thing it does is, like, you know, I was watching a movie called Margin Call.
Okay.
And it's about the banking crash of 2008. It's got Kevin Spacey in it. And he's a main character. And I felt creepy watching it. Because I know what he's done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, that's hard to defend. I can't, like, so, like, when I watch him, it kind of ruins the movie because as good of an actor as he is, and he's a phenomenal actor,
right.
I can't help but associate the creepiness of him. You know, same thing with Armie Hammer. I loved Armie Hammer. Like, how many times on this show that I've, like, you know, he needs to be Batman. The man should be fucking Batman. 100 times on it. And then he came out like he's like the fucking
cannibal,
shit crazy cannibal sexual predator bull. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so now, like, if I watch a movie that has Armie Hammer, I feel really weird watching it.
Yeah.
But that's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a fucking sleazeball, disgusting human being. Otherwise,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can watch, no matter what your political designs, no matter, you know, I can watch your movie because you're usually a pretty good actor who makes me forget.
Yeah.
You know, I believe you're the character. And it's the same thing with, like, whatever your orientation is, whatever your, like, I get there are some movies that, like, you have to have an all certain race cast because it's about that race.
Right.
Like, what was that? The Rich Asian movie, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
You know, clearly, you know,
yeah.
That's what that's about. Okay, so
you're not going to put Snoop Dogg in that spot.
No, not at all.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but but there are other things though where, like, okay, well, this character is a gay person. It's a major motion picture, and I'm going to get the very best actor to play this character, no matter what their orientation is. But all of a sudden, because now I've cast Daniel Day-Lewis as a gay person, there's uproar because he's not a gay person. But beyond the shadow of a doubt, Daniel Day-Lewis is the greatest living actor of our time. Right. He's written into the show and told us.
I just...
All right. So, interestingly, I just debated this with your daughter off mic because she didn't want to do it on mic. But it was a good conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Anyway. No. Later tonight, she'd be like, Uncle Sean's a fucking creeper.
No.
He's a disgusting human being. Don't ever let him in this house again.
No. It's all about talking.
It is. And I think that's a big key. Like, I didn't offend her. I wasn't trying to offend her, but we had a conversation where we do have slightly differing points of view. She agreed with some points. I agree with some of her points.
Right.
You know, but, like, that's the thing. Like, nobody wants to fucking talk anyway. They just want to take their side.
Yeah.
You know. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, things like where our sensitivity is stupid because it's like that sensitivity is coming from a place of like lack of conversation.
Yeah, agreed. I think it is coming from a lack of conversation.
Right. I mean, it's like most comics don't play colleges anymore.
Right.
That used to be a big thing, like doing a college tour for a comic.
Yeah.
And now, like, you know, people are so fucking they're getting run off with torches and pitchforks.
Right.
You know.
I know.
And I'm not even talking like Chappelle level. You know, I mean, like, or Bill Burr. I mean, those are two of the most controversial comics out there. You know, they're both funny as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but like, it's just that odd thing of like even like low level comics who are just trying to get their foot in the door. Like, doing a college tour was huge.
Right.
You know, now they won't do it.
Right.
You know, it's because you tell one, you say one thing that offends one person, the next thing you know,
it's a riot.
Yeah. Well, Will Smith is coming out to smack you in the face.
It may have ruined his career. We'll see.
I think it's interesting that like nothing has come up from that, from their side.
Yeah.
Like Jada Pinkett Smith, like she has that program on Facebook, the Red Table Talk.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, we'll get to the slap event. Well, they never got to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's all this time has gone by, and I don't think they ever talked about it. You know, and it's like interesting that like you just ducked that completely. Like, yeah, we're gonna talk about like other people's feelings.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, you might be right. I mean, like, does anybody think Will Smith was right?
I don't think so.
No.
Not when he laughed at first.
Right.
When he accepted the joke.
Yeah. And then caught the side eye from Jada and was like, oh shit.
Yeah, now I gotta stand up for her. But
Yeah.
he laughed initially at the joke.
Yeah.
Now, if he didn't laugh initially at the joke,
Yeah.
then I can see not see his point, but I can see where he would get upset and he would be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's job. That's not
Right.
But he didn't. He fucking laughed it off.
Yeah.
He laughed, and I'm sure he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because Will Smith is,
Yeah.
in essence, a comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, let's not get on that road.
No. But I'm just saying, like, but it does open up that can of worms of like.
I mean, no one's gonna go up to Denzel's wife and start picking at her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or somebody else, unless it's deserved. But I mean,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like, there's people going roasts all the time. How many times have you seen people roasted?
Oh.
Where they just lambaste.
I love a good roast, especially one like. I think it was the roast of, oh fuck, can't think of his name now. But anyway, like, Ann Coulter was there. Like, who the fuck invites Ann Coulter?
Yeah.
To a roast? Because everything was about what a horrible person she was, and like by the end of that thing, like she held up, but she was not laughing.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like one of those things where like people were taking snipes at her that were like of a personal nature, and like what, like, a ridiculously awful human being she is. And it was just, I mean, it was funny, but I also kind of like, weirdly, I felt bad for Ann Coulter.
Yeah.
Because like, you could tell it bothered her.
Yeah.
But like, there's also a side of me that's like, well, you signed on for this. Did you not know what it was?
Yeah.
Did you not think that all of these people were going to be of a liberal mindset and were just going to destroy you? Because it was a free-for-all,
Right.
So, like, the only time I've ever felt bad like that was like for Chevy Chase. Like, they did a roast for Chevy Chase years ago. And, I mean, and it was just people dropping pipe bombs about what an awful human being he is and how nobody wants to work with him. And people hated his fucking guts. Like, at the end of it, like, when he's like, it's like his turn to, like roast people and, like, you know, do the send-off, he, like, didn't do anything. He, like, just kind of like, well, from what I've learned today, I'm a really fucking awful human being and I need to change my ways.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, essentially, and he ended the show. I mean, it was like, holy shit. Like, I honestly felt bad for Chevy Chase. The only problem is he didn't learn from it.
No.
He's still an awful human being.
Yeah. He is awful.
He is. So, I mean, it's just, it's that, like, I feel, there are times where the sensitivities we have make sense.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be completely unsensitive to shit. Like, there are times where, like, our sensitivities need to improve or have improved over time.
Right.
But sometimes, like, we just take this shit too far. I feel.
Agreed.
You know, and, like, so it just, that's the shit that drives me nuts. So, we'll just leave it at that.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about Anne Heshstein?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. That's all.
Yeah, it was an odd, like, week and a half.
Yeah.
Like, she was in, her car caught fire. She was apparently, like, hopped up on coke. You know, like, she was technically brain dead. And all sorts of shit were, like, it was, like, the oddest story. Like, the odyssey of, like, the death of Anne Heche.
Yeah. Weird.
It was very weird.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, remember, there's a number of different ways you can reach out to touch us.
Hey.
I can send us an email like Thad does each and every week that we normally don't read. And that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. We are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search. You'll find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough, and greatly appreciate your support.
Yeah.
And so on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.